The controversy over Levi Sanders, I think it's Levy, by the way. The controversy over Levi Sanders, Bernie's son, now running for Congress, explained. This is from Vox. He just announced he's running, but he's already making enemies. If somebody says that about somebody in politics, like just that headline, like I know nothing about the candidate. I don't know if they're left, right, center, bought, not bought. I don't know anything else. They just say they just started running and they're already making enemies. I would want to hear what that person has to say. Like if I saw that in the media, my first assumption would be that's likely a good thing. Like that's likely a good thing that they're making enemies. That's probably because when the corporate media says it, when they say they're making enemies, usually that's going to be code for they're not making our donors happy. So I want to hear what this person has to say. But anyway, 2 years ago, Bernie wasn't heading a political dynasty. Indeed, his presidential campaign against Hillary Clinton picked up steam. That was 2016. This is 2018. Now, two separate Sanders relations are running for office. Bernie's stepdaughter is in the race for Burlington mayor, and Bernie himself, or a position Bernie himself had for a while. Okay. Levy, Bernie's son by ex-girlfriend Susan Campbell Mott, has entered the congressional race for New Hampshire's 1st District. The seat, which is being vacated by incumbent Democrat Carol Shea Porter and is rated as a toss-up, was attracting high-profile candidates with both parties. Now Levy, which they actually say the pronunciation here, it is Levy, is set to offer a populist alternative. Almost as soon as he announced his campaign, critics began digging up old tweets of his that are likely to complicate, if not entirely derail, his run. Okay, the younger Sanders is not a fan of identity politics, thinks that criticisms of white privilege are ill-advised and turn off working-class voters, says he doubts the working class would care if Donald Trump were caught on camera calling people the N-word, worries that eliminating the Confederate flag license plates means hurts people's rights, and you saw this one coming a mile away, has expressed exhaustion over Chelsea Clinton's continued presence. So, again, I'd be curious to know the context of all this. I'd be curious to know the context of all this. So here are some of the tweets. He says that Joy-Ann Reid engages in identity politics and alienates so many who are low income and working class. That's true. How is that? I mean, that is 110% true. That is exactly what Joy-Ann Reid does. I mean, how is that a criticism of him? He's making an observation about somebody's show that is very much true. Joy-Ann Reid has done a 180 from 2008 till now, and that's all she talks about, are identity politics. She doesn't talk about policy. If you disagree with Hillary, you're sexist. Doesn't matter what your positions are. Doesn't matter, you're sexist. Even if you're a woman, you're still sexist, according to her. That's an observation about her show. That's a criticism of her show. She has a huge show on MSNBC. What's wrong with criticizing it? She engages in identity politics and alienates so many who are low income and working class. That is a subjective statement, the first part. The second part can probably be proven. I'd imagine if you did polls in working class areas and stuff like that, and amidst low income people, a lot of them are not tuning into cable news, and reasonably so. So, all right. So that first one is nonsense. All right. Stop using this white privilege garbage. Okay, this is another tweet from him. The article here is from Rolling Stone. Watch Shailene Woodley's Standing Rock plea to President Obama. I ask and pray that the Obama administration will stop the Dakota Access Pipeline, says Divergent star Shailene Woodley. And what he says here, his tweet is, stop using this white privilege garbage. The white working class is getting crushed economically. Okay, again, he's talking about a specific article. So if he's saying that the idea of white privilege is totally garbage, that's a ridiculous claim to make. And I think that he's wrong in saying that. I disagree with that set completely. And I don't know many people that wouldn't. But again, he's tweeting this within the context of the article. So, you know, we don't have time to like go into this article itself because I want to move on, you know, away from this story kind of soonish. But again, if you can't just highlight something someone said in the context of an article and then say it's their platform as a whole. You know what I mean? Like say there's an article that made some ridiculous claims about white privilege that really have nothing to do with white privilege one way or another. And you say, wow, this white privilege claim is garbage. You're referring to that specific article. You're not referring to the concept as a whole. You guys see the difference, right? Yes, Ron, we do. We have critical thinking skills that exceed that of a 7-year-old. I know. I'm just saying. So again, these tweets are in context of articles he's critiquing. And this article is making these pronunciations as a whole. What if somebody wrote an article about single-payer healthcare that completely misrepresented single-payer healthcare, and I said, man, this single-payer healthcare article is garbage? Am I saying single-payer is garbage? No, I'm saying an article that lied about it is. You know what I mean? All right, again, Ron, the second example wasn't necessary. Again, we have critical thinking skills that exceed that of a 6-year-old. Yeah, we get it. Okay. All right. So let's see if any of these tweets actually are valid critiques. Because right now it looks like, and maybe Levi does hold some overall views that I don't agree with. I'm sure he does. But if you're just going to handpick these tweets that are in the context of articles he's talking about, that's not really to me, that's not an accurate analysis of anybody. Regardless of it's Levi, did I get it right? Levi, Sanders, or anyone else? Levi, yeah. I don't know why I'm like so. Producer, there's video of Trump saying the N-word. Okay, so that's the article. I assure you most working class families don't care about this issue. Again, this is in context of the article itself. Okay, so are any of these tweets, all of these tweets are in reference to a particular article. And here's the one. He's expressing wariness towards Chelsea Clinton. You know who expresses wariness towards Chelsea Clinton? Most of the freaking country. Male, female, the list goes on and on. A lot of people of all different backgrounds, different races, different religions, different political ideologies. Wariness of the Clintons is very common. That's why she's not president. That's why Hillary lost. So this article is pretty weak. These critiques of Levi are all based on tweets, and according to this article, these tweets could ruin it for him. I guess if you don't actually read what people are referring to and just go on the surface level, yeah, that's a pretty weak job. And by the way, Make Resistor says Vox already out with a hit piece job on Levi Sanders. So that was what they were going for. And yeah, for anyone that doesn't if anyone just reads the headlines and doesn't actually read underneath the surface, yeah, this is certainly a hit piece. And it could certainly hurt Levi if people don't read between the lines. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. So yeah, that was a smear piece. That was a good example of a smear piece. And we see why. Is this saying that Levi Sanders is perfect? No, he's not. I'm sure he's not. I'm sure there's things I disagree with him about. I disagreed with him about his analysis of convergence. I disagreed with him on that. I was there. I wish Bernie would have went third party. I wish Bernie would have started a party. I really wish that for a number of reasons. We don't have time to get into all that now. For a number of reasons. But, you know, this article is a hit piece. It's very, very incomplete. They're taking tweets and they're not acknowledging that those tweets were in the context of an article he was sharing. That's very dishonest. Any journalism person that is worth their salt at all knows that. So this was done intentionally. This was a smear propaganda piece that Vox just put out.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.